is on the line. Yeah, cause we up. We on the up. Team going up. We run it up. We on the up. We on the up.
Vancouver, BC, the site of this year's U Sports Basketball Final 8. And this evening, folks, we've got a great men's semifinal matchup. University of Ottawa Gee-Gees, they face the Victoria Vikes. That taking place tonight at Doug Mitchell Thunderbird Sports Center. And it should be a packed house for this one. Peter Rutgazer alongside Javon Shepard. Game coming up in just a bit. Let's take a look at the bracket now. Kind of expected that Ottawa is going to beat Concordia. They got a scare there. The Vikes, they got a scare from Bishops. The Dinos, kind of expected to beat Queens, but this is the shocker right here. The UPEI Panthers, Javon, beating UBC and beating them handily.
And you know what? If you talk to head coach Daryl Glenn for UPEI, that's not an upset, right? They went in there and they really showed why they were the best defense in the AUS conference. They forced 22 turnovers out of UBC and held them to 4 points in the third quarter. So that was a heck of a game for them.
Okay, two players to watch for. Ronaldo Robinson, first team All-Canadian. And you know, Javon, he's doing it coming off the bench. He had a massive night last night.
18 points, 10 rebounds there coming off the bench. Great shooting splits for him on the season. 44% from the floor, 42% from three. A guy that's going to come in his minutes, in 20 minutes, and just light it up, a microwave. Then you have Brock Newton. Not Ottawa's best player, but I'm going to tell you this. He's the ultimate utility guy. He gives them versatility on both ends of the floor. He understands what he does for this team. 17 points yesterday, and this was the kicker for me. 4 steals, right? That's a gauge of how active he is, getting deflections, getting steals, creating offense for his team, generating from the defensive end of the floor.
So 2 players to watch for here tonight. Let's join now the third member of our team. Here's Shireen Ahmed.
Thanks, guys. I'm so excited to be here this weekend. This is the first time that the men's and women's championship U Sport basketball weekend is being hosted by the same university. The atmosphere here is electric. First off, for the first men's semifinal, we have the University of Victoria Vikes, led by Coach Murphy Bernatowski, who was just awarded the U Sport Coach of the Year. Players to look out for are Sam Maye, who won Defensive Player of the Year, and Ethan Bogue. Now, Coach Bernatowski has said, although they suffered no losses in the regular season, there's no time to celebrate until they win the national title. They will be going up against the Ottawa Gee-Gees, led by Coach James Darwin, who was the winningest coach in Gee-Gees history. Players to look out for are Jacques Milan Guimati and Darwin Strayak. They're looking for their first title in program history. Back to you.
Feel every hit, point, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline.
Okay, so there you see Shireen Ahmed in Vancouver. These two teams here, let's first talk about Ottawa. This is a team that they have a lot of players that can defend 1 through 4. In terms of the players that can defend 1 through 5, you got Gumeta, number 35, and also Najak Tajori. That is a big plus for a basketball team. You don't have to worry about switches.
Yeah, it's a big plus because they have an identity, right? It's a smaller team, and they know that. They play to their strengths. They want to turn you over. They want to, get deflections. They want to generate some offense from the defense, and 25% of the offense comes in transition. So for them, it is getting out and running, and you look at their three-point numbers. Yes, they want to get up a number of shots, but they also want to win the points per possession, points per possession, on the court between their opponent. Now, if you're looking at your opponent and you want to say, what does that team not have? And they don't have size, right? So you want to beat them up in the post. You want to beat them up on the offensive glass. They gave up 25 offensive boards yesterday. That's an opportunity for Victoria to convert some offense and create more opportunities to get confidence for themselves.
Okay, let's show you the lineups, the starting lineups for tonight's game in Vancouver. And We'll get those lineups in just a second here. But this Victoria team, you know, you would think at 20-0, you wouldn't have a lot of adversity, but they did have adversity after 9 games because they lost Diego Mafia, a player that is almost instant offense.
Yeah, instant offense, but I think to their benefit, it's a talented group, and they've had guys step up. You think about them losing Diego is a big part of their team, right? There's a new leadership from this group right here. And in terms of Murphy and in terms of guys that are on the floor that are stepping up, you have to give them credit for the maturity that they've shown over the course of the season.
So there you see Robinson, Arnott, Maye, Bogue, Big Shot Bogue, and Smid in the lineup. So that's a pretty formidable starting lineup for Victoria.
And I'm going to tell you, Sam Maye, he's a grown man. He's a man amongst boys when you see him out there, right? Not the greatest or the biggest scorer, but a guy on the defensive end that really anchors them, right? He's physical. You look at his size, he's much bigger and more mature than the other guys on the floor. So I think for Victoria Vikes, it's important that he goes out there and sets the tone early, right? Be an enforcer, be the physical guy, lay some wood on Ottawa Gee-Gees, on the guys from Ottawa Gee-Gees, let them know that they just come into the paint. They're not just going to shoot as fluidly as they want.
And here's the starting lineup now for Ottawa. Chowdhury, Stayich, Newton, Gumeta, and Najek Tadori. And as I mentioned before, these are all players that can guard multiple positions. You don't have to worry about switches. Nobody's going to take advantage of you with switches. That's a big asset to have.
Yeah, huge asset, and you can see yesterday they forced Concordia into 24 turnovers. And when you're that small, you have to be scrappy. You have to be irritants on the defensive end of the floor. I think everybody gets, their defense gets lost in their offense because they're such a high-tempo, high-scoring team that you often forget that it's because of their defense. It's because, you know, they're okay giving up a couple of offensive rebounds. They know that it's going to come with the territory playing a little smaller, but what they're going to do is force you to cough it up, right? They extend the floor with a little full-court press now and then, and it speeds teams up. Then you're coughing up the basketball, that orange ball, you're getting out the other way, and that's giving you more confidence.
Murphy Bernatowski, his first season as a head coach, he was part of the coaching staff with Dalhousie under Rick Plato, and what a first year. 20-0 on the season, and he was named the Coach of the Year in U Sports. And there's James DeRue. What a job he's done over the years with this Ottawa team. They won the OUA title this year as they beat Queens 95-87, and we are underway from Vancouver, and Victoria, they get the opening possession here. This is Sam Maye. Great defensive player, gets it to Ethan Bogue. And that's gonna be a foul, offensive foul against Victoria.
A great recovery by Stayich. He got lost back door, but got back in front and just stood his ground, forcing the turnover.
Here's Stayich now. He is the glue to this Ottawa team, number 5. Great defensive player. Chowdhury gets it to Stayich. He wants Gumeta set a screen, little ghost screen there. Gumeta steps back for 3 and misses, and that's brought down by Robinson. Naldo Robinson, 18 points, 10 rebounds, 3 dimes last night in that victory against Bishops.
Well, right away, you know, if you're Victoria, you got to recognize the defense. Ottawa's switching everything on the perimeter, and you see that slip that you get to the basket there. They've got to do a better job early on of being aggressive on their screens, but also running into it like you're going to set it and slipping to the basket, cause some confusion for that switching defense.
Robinson with the inbounds, gets it up top here. This is Smid. Robinson now working on Brock Newton in the post now for Smid. Batted out of his hands. Good defensive play there by Stayich. And then that was Gumeta. He was stood up at center court.
And what's the first thing I said to you early on? When Ottawa gives up size, what they also do is they give you, you know, active hands. They give you activity on the defensive end. And in the post, Stayich gives up a couple inches, but the activity, the aggressive nature that he has, you come up with that steal.
Still waiting for our first points in this game. Here's J.M. Gumeta. Puts it up and in. And J.M. Gumeta out of Cameroon great defensive player, and he's a beast on the glass, so watch out for number 35 here.
Spoke to Coach Duran about him a couple of days ago, and his sentiment was he's a dog. He's an absolute dog. Leads the team in scoring, but you can see there, as he goes to the basket, he's just extremely tough, gritty, not going to be denied.
Maye into the paint, kicks it out. Little baseline shot there, push shot by Bogue. Ball up for grabs. And Ottawa will bring it into the front court. Here's Najak Tajori. Turnaround jumper, left it short, brought down by Smith.
A great move, got into the paint, 2 feet into the paint, created the space, just got to finish it. $1 million move, 5-cent finish.
Tajori played some NCAA ball at Bonaventure. And that shot is missed, and it's going to be a foul against Najak Tajori as Robinson got him to commit that foul.
Now, Tajori's got to stay on the ground, Pete. Like, listen, Robinson, he plays about 20 minutes on the season, and he's going out there and he's 14 field goal attempts per game. Now, that just tells me he comes off the bench, started today, but he's a guy that has a mentality where he's going to the rack. He's looking for a bucket. He's looking at that 10.
Robinson shooting 77% from the free throw line during the season at Can West play.
You can speed him up too. If you're Ottawa, you look at the numbers. You see that he has more turnovers than assists. So if he's not scoring the basketball, he's going to cough it up, not looking to make plays for his teammates.
So 7:56 remaining in this first quarter. We're tied at 2. Winner of this game goes on to the championship game on Sunday. Here's Stajic. Gonna loft a 3. Can't get it. Brought down by Robinson. Robinson working on Gometa again. Trying to get a switch. They're successful there. Down into the post. This is Bogue. Bogue got it knocked out of his hands. But it's going to be a foul, I believe, on Stajic.
And twice, though, they found that matchup. Bogue is usually at the three-point line, a guy that'll shoot 3, just under 4 of them a game. But you have that smaller defender on you. I like that Victoria found the matchup, recognized it, got it into the post. He's trying to get over that left shoulder. And this time, Stajic tries to get his hand in there, picks up the foul, but a good job by Bogue protecting the basketball, knowing that you have the small defender that is getting his hands in there, trying to be scrappy.
Bogue was part of the U19 Canada setup. Murphy Bernatowski says when he watches Bogue, kind of reminds him of the way he played.
And I played with Murph a bit. I remember him in training camp with the national team, and Murph was a bit more physical, but in terms of that popping out the inside game, very similar. He's got a ways to catch up to the physicality.
He told me to remind you that he had the best of you a couple of times in practice with the national
Murph's
team.
crazy. He has irrational confidence, and he's still crazy.
And that's going to be an offensive foul against Gometa. So we're going to get some substitutions here. Gometa's going to have to come out of the game. Mentioned Gometa from Cameroon as we take a look at this foul, offensive foul on Gometa.
Well, this one hurts for Ottawa because Gometa picks up his second foul, and he's their leading scorer, so he's going to have to sit, and this is early in this first quarter. Only 3 minutes played.
Gometa, young man from Cameroon, came to Canada with barely 2 loonies to rub together. He's going to graduate as an engineering student this spring. Here's Newton. Chaudhry from the corner. No, that hit the top of the backboard. Leaks out. Kulambala finds Stajic. He'll go cross court, catch and release. Still can't ring it up. That was Najak Tajori that couldn't knock down the tray. Robinson, little Euro step inside for Schmidt. And he hammers it down.
That's
Good dish.
Heck of a play, right? Getting into the paint, drawing 2 defenders, and then dropping it down to Smith, like you mentioned, for 2. The easy dunk, but it starts from the penetration, 2 feet in the paint.
Chaudhry tried to curl and drive, and he's fouled by Robinson. So a 6-2 lead. 6:27 remaining in the first quarter for Victoria. Right now, Ottawa with 14 fouls. UVic with 2.
And UVic being extremely intentional on the offensive end of the floor. They're trying to find a matchup against Stajic and put it into the paint, drop it into the post, and now starting to attack the basket, using the lack of size of Ottawa against them.
Stayic's pass is picked off. Back the other way now comes Vic. They can't get the bucket. That was Robinson that couldn't put it away. From the corner, the youngster Owen Kenny could knock it down. So right now, Ottawa having little problems offensively. Georges trying to get inside, and he's blocked. Najak Chadori off the window, can't get it to go, and now Uvic, they got numbers. Robinson, Euro step, can't get it. Brought down by Smith. Kulamala trying to turn the corner. Tried to find Kenny in that far side corner, and that ball goes out of play. Here you see Kulamala.
They're attacking. Just trying to work that baseline, kick across. But it's so tough to make that pass, cross-court pass from one corner on the baseline to the other side.
Kick out now, Georges. Nice pass right there. Georges' three's no good. Bo gets the rebound. They'll try another triple, and this time they knock it down.
See, and this is what happened to Ottawa yesterday as well. They gave up a number of offensive rebounds. Concordia wasn't able to convert, but this is a situation where they've seen it. Victoria they have the game plan, right? They've seen yesterday, and now you get an offensive rebound, a kick out for a three.
So right now, UVic with a 9-2 lead over Ottawa, 4:58 remaining in the first quarter. So Stajic is going to go to the line here. And we'll step out for a break. Stajic will come back and shoot a pair. You're watching the U Sports Final 8 right here on CBC Gem.
Delaney, territoire du Nord-Ouest. Le berceau du hockey. On y trouve une communauté riche en histoire et en tradition que Quaker voulait surprendre avec une toute nouvelle cantine déjeuner Quaker dans son aréna. En plus d'offrir notre avoine canadienne à grains entiers, la cantine est maintenant l'endroit pour se rassembler, manger et célébrer. Nous sommes fiers d'alimenter la passion du hockey dans son village d'origine. Parce que peu importe d'où tu viens, t'es capable.
Le sport en direct sur ICTout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ICTout.tv.
Welcome back, everybody. And there you see Ronaldo Robinson, as I mentioned earlier, our first team All-Canadian. And right now, off to a decent start the early going of this game. He's got 2 points and 3 boards.
Yeah, you know, not big numbers, but what I like is his energy. And Victoria's playing off of and feeding off of his energy, knowing he's a scorer, but he's doing a good job of getting in transition, just being active, moving the basketball, and his activity has what I would highlight.
Here's Dragan Stajic. 8 points, 8 rebounds, 4 dimes last night in that victory against Concordia. Second team All-Canadian this season. And Coach Daroon says he is the glue to this Ottawa team. Great leader. Ball kicked out in the corner now. Here's Bogue. They'll swing it. Maillet puts it on the deck. Can't go downhill. Bogue off the back iron. And Kulamala has it, and he'll bring it up for Ottawa. Kulamala, nice move. Try to get it inside for Kenny. And it's going to be Ottawa ball.
And Kulamala, he's got to continue to think score. Right now, Ottawa's struggling to put points on the board. They're 0 for 5 from the three-point line. He hit that right to left crossover on that left side. Got to explode, change speed, and just get to the basket, foul or basket, so you can see the ball go through the hoop.
Kulamala had an elbow dislocation, first preseason game of the year. Didn't know if he was going to complete the season. Came back at around Christmas time, has been coming off the bench. Tesfat Georges puts it in the hands of Bogue. And knocking it down is Jeffrey James.
Jeffrey James, a guy that's shooting 44% from the three-point line. So if Ottawa sees him, they can't allow him to be open, run him off that three-point line.
Kulamala can't drain the three from the corner. Right now, Ottawa having some difficulties offensively here.
They're getting too complacent and comfortable and just relying on that three-point shot, which hasn't dropped for them in the last 2 games.
12-3 lead here for Victoria. Inside on the cutter there. That's Schmidt, and he puts it away. And Coach Daroon, he's got to call a timeout here and try to straighten things up.
Look at my man Murph. Cool as a fan, right? I'm telling you, Murph, upstairs, that's a crazy man. Between the ears, that man believes he's supposed to win this game. He's supposed to win this entire tournament.
Murphy Pernatowski, in actual fact, he really didn't want this job. He was happy in Dalhousie, and it was Sam Maye, who was already at UVic, that said, hey, listen, you should really apply for this job. And he's the reason why he took the job, and they had a 20-0 season.
Well, you know, before he went, he was an assistant at Dalhousie. He was still playing, right? And I think that transition for a lot of players, you question, can you do it as a coach, right? And then you get yourself in that seat as an assistant, and you realize, like, wait, oh, no, I can do this thing. Like, I have enough knowledge. I have more than enough knowledge. In fact, my experience as a player translates to these players, right? They resonate with you a bit more. So for him, this has been a seamless transition. And just talking to him yesterday and just seeing how he coaches his guys, there's a confidence that permeates throughout him, and guys feel that. And I think for myself as a former player, when your coach is calm, cool, collected, and you see that, you feel that from them, you go out there and you apply that same type of confidence on the floor because you know that that coach behind you has your back. They're fighting, they're rooting with you.
A 10-year pro, played in Asia, Europe, in the CEBL, NCAA ball with Maine and Colgate. So plenty of experience as a player. He knows what these guys are going through, and that has to help.
Yeah, and he was one of those guys that he's built like a fire hydrant. The same way you see him now, he's been like that since he's been 16, but could shoot it, had really good touch. A little undersized for his position, but he made it work.
Little press here now from UVic. Kulamala gets it over the timeline. Tesfat Georges on him defensively. Jack Chadori. Turnaround fade away, no good. There's a seal on that bucket for Ottawa, and James Daroon, you know he's sweating things out right now. Maye up top. From the corner and knocking that down is Griffin Arnott. So now a 17-3 lead here for Victoria. Jeffrey James, comes down with a rebound. Again, open man in the corner, putting it on the deck, and they get the bucket there. There's Arnott again.
So they've hit a couple threes, and just the balance, right? That basketball gets kicked to that corner and driving the closeout because everybody has the urgency to get out and contest the three-point line. Now you're getting to look at the rim.
Chaudhry for Ottawa. Chaudhry trying to get down the lane here. Good defensive play by Schmidt, but he's going to get called for a foul. So 19-3 in favor of UVic. 2:34 remaining in the first quarter.
And if you're Coach Daroon, this is the attack that you want right now. Things aren't dropping. Chaudhry getting to the basket, drawing a foul, right? You can't just continue to take. The last couple shots we've seen have been jump shots, right? And it just seems to be a lid on that basket. Now changing the mentality, getting to the rack. Out of the timeout, I thought they did a good job of getting to the Tijora, getting to the basket, getting something close to the rim. Didn't drop, but continue to put pressure on Victoria's defense. Draw fouls, get yourself to the free throw line, see the ball go through the hoop, and gain some confidence that way, right? Ball goes through the hoop. It's natural for guys to then play a bit more, a bit harder on the defensive end of the floor.
Right now, Ottawa shooting 8.3%, 1 for 12 from the field. Maye has come out of the game, and Ryan Gallagher, number 16, is checked in now for Victoria. Jeffrey James trying to go downhill, puts it up. Can he get the roll? No, loose ball. They get a second chance opportunity, UVic does. Tesfat Georges. In the corner, they swing it up top. That shot clock winding down. And it's picked up by Styac for Ottawa. He'll bring it into the front court. Styac, nothing doing down the lane. And there you go, Owen Kenny. A true freshman at 18 years of age knocks down a three. They needed that.
Yeah, and that's all it takes, right? Good shot, shooting's contagious.
Here's Gallagher, kicks it out. Late stages of this first quarter. Schmid, fade away, and he rings it up.
That's just a tough shot, right? Really good defense. I thought Ottawa was there on the shoelaces of Victoria, and Schmid just makes a tough one. Good defense, better offense.
On the drive, Smith was there, he couldn't put it away. 21-8, Victoria in front. And look at that drive right there.
That's a pit bull. That is a pit bull. He moved him completely out of the way, got him out of the frame, and he knew it. As soon as he got that basketball in transition, he was getting to that left hand, getting downhill, and dipping that right shoulder.
That was a man move right there by Jeffrey James. So under a minute now in this first quarter. It's been UVic all the way so far. Gallagher. Tesfat-Georges, a local boy, Aaron Tesfat-Georges. Here's James, gets it cross court. Arnott, that's an air ball as the shot clock was winding down. Here's Gometa. He has been very noticeable here in this first quarter. You can say that about a lot of players on this Ottawa team. They've really struggled here. Time winding down. J.M. Gometa, no, can't get the layup. And final action of the first quarter. And there you see 23-10. So Ottawa, they have to figure some things out if they want to try to get back into this game.
Yeah, Ottawa's, they've got to loosen up, right? They're tied in 2 cans of paint right now.
Okay, we're going to step away. We'll come back with second quarter action. Ronaldo Robinson, he has been deadly for UVic in this first quarter. Look at that move and the pass over here for Schmid.
We are athletes.
Do you know what Husky athletes are made of?
Determination.
Hustle. Resilience.
We're part of a team and a community.
We work hard for every goal.
And every grade.
Do you know what Husky athletes become?
Pharmacists.
Teachers.
Professionals.
Olympians.
When you invest in student athletes, you invest in the future.
When you elevate her, you elevate the game.
Watch women win.
Everyone watches Husky women's sports. See her,
Be her.
We continue on from the Doug Mitchell Thunderbird Sports Center. Time now for our first quarter stats. Stats brought to you by Wilson, the makers of the official youth sports basketball. And Victoria, Javon, they've had their way in that first quarter.
Yeah, they were aggressive. They created some offense for themselves. But the big question for Ottawa is a 1 for 8 from the three-point line. And that's really where they hang their hats. And if they can continue to shoot the basketball like that, it's going to be a tough night for them. They can't allow Victoria to dictate where and how they're getting their shots. And going into the second quarter, how can you get easier looks, right? Being more aggressive, getting in 2 feet into the paint, and getting cleaner looks at the three-point line.
Victoria, they're shooting 44.4% from the field. And Ottawa, they have to find an answer, shooting 18.8%. So here we go, second quarter action. Brock Newton will get the play started here. Here's Styac. Drag on Styac. Gets it to Gometa on the drive, and Gometa gets the layup. They need more of that.
And that's a great start, right? You run that stagger out of the left side, Gometa get into the strong hand downhill. Such a force can't be stopped.
Oh, great drive right there by Gallagher as he took it right to the bucket. Gometa shoots over top of Arnett, and he drains a three.
Hey!
J.M. Gometa, 13 points last night. He was 6 of 11 from the field against Concordia. Gallagher tried to kick it out, gave it away. Here's Newton on the run. Gometa, is he going to try it again? Yes, he is for three. Back-to-back triples for J.M. Gometa.
He came to play. He's seen how the first quarter went. He said, okay, let's turn this around. We got some things to work on. We got some things to do right now. He's a complete dog, wants to win, and you can see it with the passion that he's playing with, the force that he's playing with right now.
Defensive Player of the Year in the OUA this year. Here's Bogue, puts it on the deck. Nice fake right there, goes baseline, can't get it.
This rock needs to go to Gometa right now and let him work.
Newton, fade away in the paint. No, rolls off the rim. Tesfat Georgis throws it up. Bogue. Arnett post up now for Ethan Bogue. Double team comes over, gets the pass into the paint. Turnover by UVic. Pulling up, Chaudhry. And Ottawa, they got it going on. Whatever this man right here, James Maroon, said at the break.
Well, he said, guys, help. We have a game, right? We have a game to play. And Gometa came out. He had himself a great start to this quarter. And the double team, I thought mine cut a bit too early, and that allowed, the weak side to load up and create that turnover, get that turnover there to get out in the other end. But James doing a terrific job.
So Ottawa starting to cook in the early goings of this second quarter. Chaudhry pulls up, knocks it down. Back with more on the other side from Vancouver.
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Oh, smoke, Messi! C'est pas aussi mauvais que la cigarette, ça?
C'est juste une vapoteuse.
Fais-toi pas d'illusions.
Vapoter, c'est jouer avec sa santé. Brise l'illusion.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back. Ottawa cooking in the early going of the second quarter. Let's send it now to Shireen Ahmed.
There's been an incredible change of energy in the arena right now after Ankit Chaudhry's three. There's just been an incredible shift from Ottawa and more of a press. We know that the first quarter they weren't successful, less than 20% of success from the field. However, something just seems to have changed after the break. They're hitting the second quarter with a completely different type of electricity, which I think is really important. It's taking this ball game to a real game, 4-point game. Makes a big difference.
Thank you very much, Shireen. 25-21. UVic in front. Schmid kicks it out. They swing it. Ball taken away. Chaudhry for three and left that one a little short. And this Ottawa team, James Maroon's team, they got a big scare in that second half against Concordia. And you would have thought that they would come up with just a little bit more vigor. So I'm sure he had some interesting dialogue after that first quarter for his team.
Well, we got to remember that basketball is 4 quarters, right? It's a game of runs. And what happened was Ottawa woke up, right? They came into this game sleeping, and Victoria took advantage of it. But now we're in a 4-point game with 7:30 to go in the second quarter. They understand the assignment now. They understand what's at stake.
Tesfat Georgis' pass is picked off. Active hands by Gometa, trying to take it to the rack, and he's fouled by Schmid.
And it doesn't matter. It don't matter the result of this game. For Ottawa, he's going to be the player of the game, regardless of how this game goes, because his energy and force that he's played coming to the second quarter with has completely changed the dynamic and trajectory for Ottawa, coming out and making this thing a game. And is it anything tactically? No, right? They've applied a bit more force defensively, but a lot of that has come from the confidence they get seeing the basketball go through the hoop from this man right here.
As I mentioned, this guy is a beast on the glass, can play in transition, can knock down the three, and we witnessed that here in the early going of this second quarter. So now 25-22 in favor of Victoria. Ottawa closing the gap. Here's Bogue trying to turn the corner there on Newton. Can't do it. James. Tesfat Georgis. James, they play catch. James from downtown. That's a deep three. Jeffrey James, part of that apprenticeship program with the CEBL, played last summer with the Edmonton Stingers. 28-22 lead now for the Vikes. Gometa. Newton trying to set a screen. Gometa getting to the rack, lays it up. J.M. Gometa is going off here, Javon, in this second quarter.
15 points for him.
Ethan Bogue left it short, leaks out, and that's going to be Victoria ball.
That's one of the ones where you can't, if you're Coach Duroin, like you're upset about that play, but you also applaud your guys for the sense of urgency. Both guys going after the basketball. They've got to communicate more and secure the basketball.
Ottawa now 8 of 23 from the field, up 34.8%. Jab step here from James, trying to get inside. James off the glass, no good. The putback is good. And that was Arnett. Chaudhry, offensive foul, and James Saroon, he doesn't like the call. He's in disbelief. James Daroon, he took over this program 2010, Esports Coach of the Year in 2014-15, OUA titles in 2023, 2014, and this year. He's had a successful run at the school that he used to play at. Here's Bogue. Good pass by Sam Maye.
And Arnett with a heck of a screen, really staying solid, big body, big frame, just creating that gap to make that pass in an easy basket.
Newton to the rack. Little kiss off the glass, and he gets the deuce. 32-26 for the Vikes.
I like the pride by Newton. Said, I gave up 1 or 2 on the other end. I'm going right back and getting it.
Tesfat Georgis. Turnover. Gometa says, thank you very much. Gometa. And that's going to be a blocking foul against James.
Newton did a good job on one end, moving his feet. Gometa in the passing lane, coming up with it. And James may have flopped there. Really wasn't going to do much to stop Gometa anyway. He was going to the rack. He was going to be foul or basket, regardless of what the defense thought.
This guy's built like a freight train and can run like a deer.
Yeah, looks about 6'7", 225, all muscle. I see him in the alley. I'm leaving him alone. You got it, big fella.
32-27. Victoria in the lead here. Here's James. James trying to turn the corner, puts it up. And he's fouled by Tajori, I think. Najak Tajori. So Jeffrey James to the line.
Yeah, what they did, they cleared out that entire left side, and defense fell asleep. That weak side defense fell asleep following the offense, and a change of speed by James to get himself to the basket. Just a smart, high IQ play. Nothing that you're not looking over at Coach Murphy Bernatowski to call a play. This is early in transition. Let's make a read. Empty out that side, attack. The defense fell asleep.
So James gets both the free throws. He now has 14 points in this game. Gometa up top here for Newton. Oh, Justin Najak Tajori wasn't paying attention right there.
Unforced turnover. They're trying to get Gometa a look in the post. They got that cross screen, and he was about to set up and get his position. Tajore's got to be a bit more aware. Yeah, the play's not for you, but you still have to be alert. Every possession counts.
Here's James working on Newton. Maybe a little bit of a mismatch. Drive to the hoop by Arnott, can't get it. Body strewn all over the floor.
And Newton and Stuyach, as that penetration was happening, both of those guys staying vertical, not picking up the foul. Arnett really had nowhere to go, tried to toss it up over his head. Good defense by Ottawa.
4:40 remaining here in this second quarter. Khalifa Koulamala, ball in his hands. Newton gonna drive, little spin move, puts it away, little push up with the right hand.
And Newton taking away the strength and the space of Bogue, right? And Bogue's got to do a better job knowing that Newton's not gonna shoot from the perimeter, right? So you can't allow him just to put the basketball on the floor and attack the rim.
Deep three attempt by James, well off the mark. Newton brings it down. Dragan Stuyach. Najak little crossover. Can't get it to go, stays with it. Good second effort there by Justin Najak. Back the other way, Sam Maye gets a bucket. Back and forth we go, folks.
And UVic has done a good job of that. Every time Ottawa has scored, they've really advanced the basketball, catching Ottawa off guard. Nobody back in transition.
5-point lead now for UVic. Koulamala. And a foul on the floor here against UVic. So James DeRune's got to be very happy with what he's seen here in the second quarter from his team. Big time response. And right now they're down by 5. Chaudhry on the inbounds. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Plenty of time now to create something. Here's Chaudhry. Oh, and there's some great defense from Sam Maye. He thought he got fouled there. Murphy Bernatowski, none too pleased. Call the game, I think.
Call the game. What are you watching?
Let's see now.
Sam Maye, and look how he's sitting down in his chair. And he thought, Murphy thought that he got hooked, that Maye got hooked there, but Maye did a good job of just really sitting down. Obviously, on a small shot, he's a much smaller guard with the basketball, pesky, change of speed, good, crafty guy. And he just really didn't allow him to turn the corner.
And Sam Maye, the Defensive Player of the Year in youth sports, and he played for Rick Plato with Dalhousie. And if you don't want to play defense or dedicate yourself to defense, your backside's going to be pinned to the bench for a long time. So he's got that defensive knowledge from his time at Dalhousie, and what a season he had.
And I'll tell you this much, right? It looks like that is the same expectation that Murphy has for him out there. It's probably just embedded in him, and I'll tell you this much. The biggest motivation is when you don't do your job and the coach says, come and sit right beside me. So if you need any inspiration, there's about 14 chairs right beside Murphy. Come and sit down if you don't understand what your role is.
For a guy that really didn't want this job, he's really taken over and done such a fantastic job with this team. And
you know what, sometimes it's just your calling, because he also inherited this team. And yes, he inherited a talented team, a talented group, but he lost, 2 of his best players. And at the same time, he came in as a new coach and got these guys who have had success already, to buy into his system, right? And he's bringing a bit more of his European influence from his time playing professionally in Europe, some of those, offensive systems and sets and so forth. So to me, it's actually a bigger challenge when you're coming into a system that's already set, guys that are already set.
And it helps when you have a guy like Ken Shields, who really started this program, won so many championships as an advisor. And he told Murphy, hey, listen, you need any help, you let me know. This is Bogue now, post up. Newton trying to defend him. Double team comes over. They swing it. James, catch and release. No, can't get it to go. Maye flies in there. Got the rebound. Fresh 14. Tesfet Georges had to bobble it. From downtown, that was Bogue. He couldn't bring it up. And now Ottawa, they'll bring it into the front court. 36-33 for UVic, and one. No, they're gonna wave the bucket off here? I think they are, yes.
I'm not sure they know what they want. Nor does the cameraman. Everybody's confused. Everybody's lost. What is it?
So I guess they're waving the bucket off there. 2:38 now remaining in the second quarter. Maye, he's had a great game so far. Here's James, and he knocks down a three from the wing.
Simple basketball. Maye with the paint touch, and the big fella kicking it out to James for the three.
Newton on the inside, little tap off the glass. Jeffrey James now has 16 points for UVic, leading all scorers so far in this game. Bogue, he'll loft it in. Tesfat Georges with the layup. Nice cut there by Tesfat Georges.
Kumala got caught ball watching.
Turnover, Maye leading things. Maye, Euro step, lays it in.
That's not a race you're gonna win, right? That's not a race. Maye in transition, and such a strong player, but also such a smart player, understanding, taking away the angle from the defense.
From downtown, Stajic, that's in and out. Newton gets the offensive rebound. No, can't get the roll. And they're gonna say it's Ottawa ball. So just when you thought Ottawa was making some momentum, UVic comes right back and they get some buckets, and they've created another lead here.
Yeah, I reckon this is gonna be a seesaw game, a seesaw battle. Both teams have had moments where you've seen what they do and what their intentions are, and I think it's just gonna boil down to who can be more deliberate, right? Who's gonna execute down the last two quarters of this game, right? The first two have been up and down, and you've seen, okay, Ottawa's come back in this game. They've used their double teams to speed UVic up and create turnovers, create some bad shots, and then got out and got some offense for themselves. Going into the second half, both teams are gonna settle down a bit, and who's really going to execute?
This UVic team, their style is that they want to move the ball. They don't want the ball to stick. Have you seen that from UVic?
Yeah, I've seen it in moments. I think you also have to remember they're a really good shooting team, right? So the more they move the basketball, the better shots they're going to get. And they've definitely not. James has knocked down a couple shots. I think Maya's made some really good decisions. But again, this is, and I mentioned it before, in these type of stakes where you're playing to advance and you're playing to, you're playing essentially to get to a championship, right? To live on. And the game is not going to be pretty. The game is going to get ugly. And it's who can win the ugly game, right? It's not who's going to win the pretty game, not who's going to get the open looks, the right passes, the perfect rebound. It's who's going to be able to get their nose dirty and win those battles, win the 50-50 balls.
There's J.M. Cometa. There's his numbers so far tonight. That's a pretty good night. 16 points. Stajic. Little push shot, rattles it. So a couple of points there coming out of the timeout. 1:19 now left in the second quarter. Sam Maye. James thought about jacking up a three. Forced a pass there. On the deck goes Stajic. He gets the ball. And now Kulamala will bring it up. Stajic directing traffic. As I said, he's the vocal leader of this team. Now Jack Chadori trying to break down James. Oh, active hands right there by Sam Maye. That's why he's the defensive player of the year in your U Sports. Arnott loses the handle, and that ball went out. It's going to be UVic ball here. 17 seconds on the shot clock.
Low man always wins, and Tajor was just high with his dribble. What does Maye do? He gets closer to the floor, comes up, digs it out, pulls it out, and forces that turnover.
Ethan Bogue. The Big E, they call him. Fade away, no good. And that's going to be a foul on Najak Chadori. And he's probably going to have to come out of the game here.
He picks up his third.
Only 36.2 seconds remaining, but he can't afford to go into the second half with 4 fouls.
No, and he's a focal point to this team, an important piece. And It's been slow for him, 1 for 7 on the night, and obviously picking up that third foul. You've got to use these 36 seconds right now and regroup, reset yourself, right? Going into the half. As soon as you go into the locker room at halftime, it's got to be a completely different game coming out because your team needs you.
The Big E knocks down both free throws. Gametta, good contest there by Arnott. Mae's got that D-board. Jeffrey James now. Tesfad Georges, everything up top here now for Victoria. Mae. Arnott into the paint, nowhere to go. James lofts up a three and hits it. Jeffrey James is on fire, folks. And there you have it.
That's a great way. You couldn't have ended the half a better way. The more you get the basketball going side to side, the higher the probability that the defense is going to break down. So said, so done, and James comes up with another three after the ball goes side to side.
So Victoria looking pretty good going into the second half. J.M. Gametta and company are going to have to turn things around. UVic in front here. We're stepping away. We'll come back with our halftime show. You're watching the U Sports Final 8 on CBC Gem.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Beautiful night in Vancouver, BC, the site of this year's U Sports Final 8, both the men's and the women's. And right now, you've got UVic in front, 48-37 over Ottawa. And Victoria, they came out like a house on fire. Ottawa had to make some adjustments. Just your thoughts so far on what you've seen.
Well, I think, you have to give UVic their credit. They came out to this game and they had a really good start. They have 13 assists on 17 made field goals, shooting 50, 40, 100 from the free throw line, right? So a team that's really getting the basketball where they want. They're getting really good shots. James is doing a tremendous job of knocking down the three-point shot. And then Ottawa did make an adjustment. They start to pick speed UVic up with their double teams, forcing them to cough the basketball up a bit into some tough shots. But you got to see more of that into the second half, and Ottawa's got to get their flow from the three-point line and on the offensive end.
One person's very happy with that first half is Murphy Bernatowski, head coach of Victoria, and right now he's with our Sharina Mid.
Coach Bernatowski, you've had a pretty successful at running plays in the first half. What is the most effective thing you need to do to keep building this lead?
We need to take care of the ball. Way too many turnovers for us. When we don't turn the ball over, we have a really good chance of scoring it. But right now, too many careless turnovers.
You were famously quoted as saying that although you didn't lose any games in the regular season, it's no time to celebrate until you take a national title. Are you still standing by that?
Yeah, we've been saying that all year. I stand by that.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Shireen. As some youngsters on the court, what did you think from Murphy Bernatowski there?
Well, man, a few words right there. He looked like he's a man on a mission, still has some things to get done, want to get back into the locker room with his group, and I can understand why. but he nailed it, right? A few too many turnovers, and they let Ottawa speed them up a bit. So I think going into that halftime with his guys, it's really, guys, to settle down, right? You know that Ottawa's going to throw another punch. We've got to be able to continue to execute.
Okay, let's look at Victoria's quick start here, because they almost ran Ottawa right out of the gym in that first quarter.
Well, look at the type of shots that they were getting. Offensive rebounds. Best shot in the game after offensive rebounds at the three-point line. A lot of the looks, like I mentioned, were really good looks. 13 assists on 17 made field goals to assist. The ball's zinging, the ball's popping, the ball's moving. And when everybody's feeling good on the offensive end of the floor, they're going to give you a bit more on the defensive end. There you see, bucket under the rim. Nobody around to contest. And they got some really good looks in the paint. I thought Ottawa could have done a better job of putting a little bit more resistance. Maé, 2 feet in the paint, the kick out to James, finding the hot hand. And you got to continue to play that brand of basketball. Ottawa, this is where the tide changed, right? Gambetta coming in that second quarter after picking up 2 fouls in the first. That three really got them kick-started, and then you got that transition, right? Another three from him. Not the best three-point shooter, but playing from the heart, playing with passion. You see Coach James Rowan there. Cool as a fan, but I know inside he's sick right now from that first quarter that he's seen. But Gambetta here attacking, getting downhill, the smaller defender on him, using his force, using his size. But this is what you need from Ottawa. When they're playing fast, and I mentioned to you earlier, when they're playing in transition, they get about 25% of their offense in transition. Then when you see the ball go through the hoop, that three-point shot starts to drop. So guys got to be a little bit more deliberate, a little bit more shot ready when they get the ball in their hands. They're getting pushed off of their post a bit, and UVic is being a bit more physical than them. But if they can come out in the second half and be more deliberate, be more intentional with the shots, and then on the defensive end, right, that's where they've really hung their hat this year, is being scrappy, getting deflections, getting steals, and getting out.
Okay, time now for the PepsiCo Foods Canada U Sports Spotlight. Sarah Sayed of U Sports sat down with Toronto Metropolitan University's Aaron Romes to talk about his meteoric rise in Canadian basketball and what the future holds.
I'm with Aaron Brooms, who plays basketball for the TMU Bold. Aaron, I was wondering if you could tell me when you first started playing basketball.
I started playing basketball when I was about 9. Played for this little club in Oakville called the Oakville Vitas. When I was 9, even before that, I was doing rec league. So my dad was there, and he was just I was always taller than everybody else. It was just why not you play basketball? You have all the accolades. So, OUA Rookie of the Year, U Sports Rookie of the Year. Yeah. What was the first year for you in U Sports basketball like? It was tough, I'm not gonna lie, because the transition between high school and university, I think for anybody is difficult, either from an academic or a sports standpoint. But I was, grateful to have a great coaching staff and Coach David DeVero. He helped me transition really well. He put his trust in me right away, which is not something you see a lot in rookies. I was a starter right away. As the year went on, things got easier, of course, as I adjusted. That offseason, right after your rookie year, is when you got drafted to the CBL, correct? Yeah. So you're going from high school to uni, then CBL, Shooting Stars. Yeah. How did you feel? Did you kind of expect that to happen in that way? Honestly, no. I literally I went into my first year thinking obviously I want to play, and I just wanted to make an impact. It was expressed in my game where I was just working hard all the time. I just wanted to make an impact. I wanted to be the best I could be. I even had the experience or the opportunity, to wear Canada across my chest out in Chile for the Nations League for 3-on-3. That was a surreal experience. I felt so proud, just wearing the red and white. There's this narrative that, Canadian universities aren't that good in terms of sports, and, just the uprising of Canada basketball and how great it's become and how big it's becoming with the WNBA now coming to Toronto. People are recognizing Canadian basketball players in the NBA now more, and in the Olympics. Like, it's just great to be a part of that conversation and contribute to the growth of Canada basketball.
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated, Ontario University Athletics.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Beautiful night in Vancouver, and we're at the break, and Victoria in front of Ottawa 48-37 in this U Sport men's semifinal series. Peter Ruttgazer alongside Javon Shepard. And let's now join Shireen Ahmed as she is with James Daroon of Ottawa.
I'm here with Coach James. Coach, it was a bit of a roller coaster in the first half. Tell me about the adjustments that need to be made moving forward in the second half.
Well, I mean, we got to stay home on their shooters on defense for sure. James has got 4 made threes in the half. They're on their way to 6, which is they're on pace for 12 made threes, and we identified that with them. They're a great shooting team, and we got to find a way to stay home on them and make them put it on the floor and take away the 3-ball for sure.
The coach of the women's team is here tonight. What does that mean for you and the support for the Gee-Gees?
Oh, well, I mean, it's great to have her here. Obviously, we're so proud of both our programs, you know, winning both Wilson Cups in Ottawa this year, and her first trip to nationals, and you know, maybe she's got a little magic over there for us, and maybe she can help us out in the second half. But we're super proud of our women's program, and we wish them the best in the semifinal tomorrow.
Great, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Shireen. And here are the stats brought to you by Wilson, the makers of the official U Sports basketball. What do you think?
Well, again, I think it's the type of shots that UVic is getting. You can tell by the discrepancy on the assists, right? 13 to 3, up 10 there. But I think the big thing for Ottawa is just the bench has got to contribute, right? They're getting outscored 23-5 right now. And James is only going about 8 deep, so guys have got to come in ready to play, and they've seen what they can have success by speeding UVic up, right, from on the defensive end, the scrambles, the double teams, and then everybody's got to be on the string, especially when you get into those double teams. That first pass out, the second pass out, the help side, you know, boxing cutters is big.
The one guy that I really want to see pick up his game is Najat Jajori, number 10 for Ottawa.
Yeah.
Here's a guy You know, he can defend 1 through 5. He can play above the rim. We haven't seen that from him in that first half, and he's in foul trouble. He's got 3 personals against them. They need him to stay in this game and pick things up a bit.
And the thing is, he's a third-year guy, right? And you have to understand the stakes right now. You're playing to get yourself to a championship. So whatever happened in that first half, you got to crumple it up like a piece of paper, throw it behind you, because they need his 15 points, his 6 rebounds, his 2.5 assists, right, on 50% field goal shooting. So if you're Coach James DeRuin, you're looking at DeJory and you're challenging him right now, right? What type of player do you want to be, right? And this is when big-time players step up, right? Doesn't matter what happened in that first half. It's winning time these next 2 quarters.
And last night, he had 14 points, 8 assists. As there you see Najak Tajori. Sam Mai has just been outstanding at both ends of the court, as you would expect. So here we go. 2 quarters of basketball, and somebody's going to punch their ticket to the big final on Sunday. And leading the way in scoring is Jeffrey James, 19 points, 6 of 12 from the field. He's 5 of 8 from 3. And he's got 3 boards and 1 dime, so he's been red hot in this game. A little bit of a delay here before we get started. Just a reminder, after this game, we're gonna have the Calgary Dinos take on the upstart UPEI Panthers, and boy, what a game the Panthers played last night, upsetting UBC. That shocked everybody. And that UPEI team, they have won 7 games in a row. So that'll be an interesting game coming up here on CBC Gem, maybe around 11 p.m.
I'll say one thing. Calgary Dinos, they were probably the best team, most prepared coming into this tournament, and they looked every part of it.
Yeah.
Nate Petrone, Player of the Year, he is just as advertised, as good as advertised, if not more. He's a stud, he's tough, he can get you a bucket, great percentages, and a really good guard.
Yeah, Nate Petrone, I mean, he could roll out of bed and get you 15.
Man,
so
that man closes his eyes and can give you 30.
So we're underway, 3rd quarter action. Smid, little hook can't go, and now Najak Tajori. Chaudhry, little up fake, thought about shooting the 3. Newton. Turnaround jumper, no good, left it short.
Maya he's so disruptive. He sits down in the chair on Chaudhry and really just blows up the entire offense.
Smid, creates a little contact and space for himself and then lays it in. Najak Tajori back the other way, and they need some of that from number 10.
Well, there's the answer right there, right? You want to see a bit more from him, the aggressive start.
50-39 in favor of the Vikes. Robinson. Shot clock winding down here. Down to 7 seconds. Bogue, little fake. Sidestep. Robinson. And don't know if that was
travel there.
Travel, yes it was, okay.
And big time defense by Ottawa, right? Shot clock winding down, everybody staying disciplined, contesting shots, forcing extra passes. And then guess what happens, right? Late clock, you're just trying to get something up, travel.
11-point lead now for the Vikes. Stajic, he's been kind of quiet in this game. Newton, little push shot, no good. Robinson's got the rebound. The alley and oh my goodness. Air Canada flight number 10, Shaden Smid. He threw that down hard.
And he just goes airborne here. Mae tossing it up. Contact from behind, and he has a little bit to say to Jory there as all right.
So I think that was a technical.
A little tech never hurt nobody.
Yeah. 52-39 for the Vikes. Chaudhry to the line here. Sinks the technical. And Ottawa will get possession, down by 12. Ottawa team coming up with a victory last night against Concordia, 79-69. Got a bit of a scare in the second half, but came away with the win. And Victoria, they beat Bishops 85-73. Here's Gameta. Gameta couldn't put it away, and that'll be Victoria ball. He's been one of the lone bright spots for this Ottawa team.
And he's got to look at his guys too, and they got to see how he's playing. And he needs help, right? Somebody's got to step up and be as forceful as he is.
And Arnott, he lost the handle on that ball, a turnover. Gameta's got 16 points on 6 of 10 from the field. 2 of 4 from 3. Stajic. Najak Tadori gonna take on Bogue. Puts it up, missed it, but he's gonna go to the line. That's gonna be a foul on Bogue, and Murphy Bernatowski in disagreement. Kind of looked like it was good defense there.
Yeah, and you know what? They opened up the floor for him, ran that little action where he could get the basketball on the right side to attack. And the right idea, right? Putting the basketball on the floor, putting your head down and saying, okay, I'm not just going to settle for a jump shot. I have a weaker, thinner defender on me, getting yourself to the rack. Now, the extra push with the basketball, shoving the basketball. Be a little ticked off with that one.
So I guess that was a tech. So Robinson hit that, and now Tadori, he'll get his 2 free throws.
Tadori, little extracurricular after, a little frustration foul, frustration tech.
Yeah, I mean, did not have a good first half. We alluded to that. Missed the first of 2. And right now.
Well, and I'll tell you why that hurts as well, is because it's going to count as a personal. So
now he's got 4.
Now he has 4, and already having a tough outing, 2 for 8.
And he missed the second. So not the night that Najak Tadori would like to remember. 53-40 in favor of the Vikes. Here's Robinson trying to break down Tadori. Shoots over top of him, and he gets the bounce. And that Victoria bench, they are up. They can feel something coming here, but we got a lot of basketball left. Tadori, dead center 3, can't knock it down. Robinson got the ball stripped. Good job there by Chaudhry. And then a foul against Victoria.
Tadori's probably going to have to sit, because with that 4th one, Murphy's a former player, and he knows when a guy has 4, well, there he goes to the bench right now. If he didn't go to the bench, Murphy was going to attack him every play down the floor until he picks up that 5th. So unfortunate for head coach James Duron that he has to pull Tadori this early into the 3rd.
And I doubt very much you'll see him in this 3rd quarter. Here's Newton. Oh, nice spin move. Nice move by Newton. Couldn't finish, but he got hacked, and he's going to go to the line here for Ottawa. And right now, Ottawa 6 of 11 from the free throw line. Newton makes the first of 2 last night in that victory. Didn't shoot the ball well from the charity stripe. 60.7%, 17 of 28. And Newton makes both of his free throws. And right now for Ottawa, need to get some consistent stops, maybe a kill, get some momentum in their favor.
Well, who wants it, right? In a game like this, and you have a chance at a championship, or getting into a championship, competing for a championship rather, it's not about the score. It's about who wants it more.
Robinson puts it on the deck. Robinson floats it up and in, and 1.
He wants it. He wants it.
So a chance for an old-fashioned 3-point play here.
And you can see the paint touch here. You get a weak side kick out, and he's attacking. Robinson doing a good job of attacking the closeouts, because Stajic is coming out a bit out of control, and you always want to use the defense's momentum against them, right? So a great attack, getting himself to the free throw line as well.
Couldn't hit the free throw, and that ball goes off a Victoria player, so Ottawa will get possession here. Right now, James Deroon, he's got to find some answers. Team down 57-42. Chaudhry. And he's fouled by Ronaldo Robinson. And Robinson, I believe that's his fourth personal. So he has to come out of the game. Arnott, number 9, will check in.
Well, that's a bright spot for Coach Deroon and the Ottawa Gee-Gees, is having Robinson go to the bench, right? 2 for 4, 7 points and 5 rebounds for him. But, you know, he's a guy that can light it up for 30. We called him a microwave earlier. I think, you know, it's 2025, so he's more like an air fryer.
Air fryer. He's a healthy version. Chaudhry at the line. Makes both the free throws. He now has 8 on the evening for the Gee-Gees. Here comes the press now from Ottawa. Jeffrey James up top. Maillet gets it down low. Oh, sweet time. Maillet to Bogue.
And Kennedy, he just got lost there, right? Instead of going under the screen and getting back in front, he tried to go over top and just got lost.
And Dragan Stajic comes right back, hits a 3. 59-47. Ottawa, they're into the bonus now. Turnover. Stajic. Chaudhry tries his luck from downtown, no good. James, he's got the D-board. Arnott working here on Owen Kenny, and a reach-in foul there by J.M. Gametta.
See, the last possession for Ottawa where they trapped and they scrambled and they forced a turnover, that's what we saw in the second quarter, where they had that little segment there where they were able to chip away at this game. And I know, you know, Coach Deroon is a basketball savant, so he's going to plug and play with this. And, you know, if it was me, I'd probably be a bit more urgent. Guys, let's go get it right now. But he's going to be a bit more surgical with his defensive approach in this game. And, you know, with 5 minutes to go, he's only going about 8-9 guys into his rotation. Doesn't want to burn them out too early, but I can imagine you're going to see a bit more of those double teams in those blitzes.
Post up here now for Bogue. Bogue uses his size, knocks down Newton. No call there. They can't get the bucket, though. Stajic. Newton. Newton working on James. Little push shot. No, can't get the roll. Kenny gets the rebound. Fresh 14. Swing it into the corner. Chaudhry. Tesfat Georges trying to defend him. 5 on the shot clock. And that's going to be an offensive foul. There's Aaron Tesfat Georges. He's pumped up.
I'm going to give Tesfat Georges credit for moving his feet. I'm not sure I agree with the call, because it seemed like did look like he was still moving, like he was still shuffling his feet.
So Victoria in the lead right now. Ottawa trying to get back into this one. Back to Vancouver on the other side.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back, everybody. And this man has been a beast for Victoria. Jeffrey James, look at the numbers here.
Yeah, 19 points for him. You think about it, 5 for 8 from the three-point line. That Coach John Beeline that would always say, KYP, know your personnel. And for Ottawa, he shot 44% from the three-point line all season. Somebody's got to get him off of that three-point line, and he can't kill you with what he's been doing all year.
A savvy veteran who's had a big night for the Vikes, and that's going to be a foul on Ottawa. And it's going to be a foul against Owen Kenny. So, big shot, Bogue will go to the line, Ethan Bogue. Yeah, that was a no-doubter right there. So, young man that's got a lot of upside. Talking to Murphy Bernatowski a couple of weeks ago, Ethan Bogue.
Look at his frame, really good size, 6'9", long arms. Knocks down the first of 2 there, 73% free throw shooter on the season. The guy that's pretty active, right? His frame has a really nice touch, shoots about 4 threes per game for them at 40%. 13 points on the season, 5.5 rebounds.
Coach Bernatowski says his skill set is off the charts. And right now, 61-47 for the Vikes. Chaudhry. They get a switch. Stayach, curl and drive. And they're going to call him on the travel.
And that's a tough one there because Newton had to match up with James on his backside. Stayach gets into the paint, and that re-penetration where the defense already is obviously not the best option. Comes up with a turnover here. But still, when you're trying to chip away at the thing, you got to be patient. Look at, survey the floor and find the matchups. And that one, they should have went inside.
Both teams are into the bonus here now in this third quarter. Bogue, mid-range. Can't get it to go. And Bogue was fouled there.
Well, you know, right now, James sees the double team. Great decision. Bogue gets the shot in that short corner there. But this is where Ottawa has to be better, right? You've done everything that you're supposed to do. You force the shot, but the rebound, right? You've got to close out the defensive possession with a rebound.
Ethan Bogue now has 11 points on the evening. You've got 3 players in double digits. James with 19, Bogue now with 12, and Smid with 10. So here we go, 4:05 now remaining in the third quarter. This is Kenny. Stayach thought about putting up a 3. Oh, slick pass right there, and Newton knocks it down.
All right, now a little behind the back,
yeah.
a little push shot. Maybe that'll loosen guys up. See, just have some fun with it now.
Into the post now for Bogue. Double team comes over. They turn it over. Here's Stayach. And an easy, uncontested layup there for J.M. Gametta. And here comes the press.
Now we're seeing that double team again, right? And what happens? You're forcing the turnovers. You're getting a little 3/4 court press, which is killing clock for you, Vic. 13 seconds left in the shot clock.
Maye battling there with Kulamala, shoots over top of him, banks it in.
That's a grown-up.
Yeah.
That's a grown-up right there. He has grown man strength.
He was part of the apprentice program in the CEBL, played for Langley. Kulamala trying to drive. Little up and under move. That ball stripped away from him by Tesfat Georges. Boy, he's got lots of energy. What did he have for breakfast today? I want 2 servings
got
of
a little bit too excited there, right? His energy just dribbled that basketball off his foot out of bounds. But Murphy was okay with it. I'm telling you, Murphy's crazy. Murphy's crazy.
Wow, he's brought a lot of energy in this game. Aaron Tesfat Georges, a local kid. Little hook there by Stayach. And 65-53 now for Victoria. Jumper, no good, in and out from James. Stayach try his luck, deep three, can't go. Kenny couldn't get the rebound, and now...
That's not the shot you want right now, right? This is a 12-point game. If you're Ottawa, can you get this thing under 10 going into the fourth, and then you're still within striking distance? Haven't shot the basketball well.
James on the drive, going downhill, putting it away. That's 21 points now for Jeffrey James. He's 5 of 8 from 3. Turnover, Newton gave it away, and then Victoria, they give it right back. There you see Gametta's numbers, 16.7 of 11 from the field. He's been the lone bright spot here for Ottawa. Chaudhry tried to get a post-up going there with Gametta, couldn't. Kulamala up top. Kulamala, no, hits back iron. And there's Sam Maye, comes down with a rebound.
What have the last 2 shots been for Ottawa, right? 2 25-foot three-point shots, you know, down 14.
Bogue. No, not enough mustard on that one. Good contest there. Yeah, the shot selection has not been good for Ottawa.
Yeah, and if you're Ottawa, the 2 keys that are so important right now is game management and shot quality. Or possession management, I should say.
Here's Gametta trying to bake down James. James with the rejection. So Jeffrey James doing it both ends of the court.
And Gametta's he's got to take that attack 10 out of 10 times. Gets by James right here. And James got away with a foul, but Gametta's got to go right back. Because you swipe like that, like he did right here, right? Force. They missed the first one. Get that basketball, go right back. If they owe you a call, get yourself to the free throw line. Defense comes across the body swinging like that, it's an automatic foul.
So Gametta to the line here, 1:01 remaining in the third. And no, can't make the first of 2. And Ottawa, as I mentioned earlier on, they really struggled from the charity stripe, 60.7% in that game against Concordia. And no, Gametta can't get that one either. Tonight, shooting 62.5% from the free throw line, and that's not going to get it done. James, he'll swing it. Tesfat Georges rises up and knocks down a triple. Thank you very much. And now that lead is widened. 70-53 in favor of the Vikes. 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Newton. And Newton is fouled by Bogue.
You know, one thing I'll say about you, Vic, they set the tone for the following quarter, how they finish the current quarter, right? If you remember, at the end of the second, big shot, big play. Just a while ago, big shot, big make, right? And those are things that give you some momentum going into that next quarter, right? Big time plays to finish out, to close out.
They've got a nice, comfortable lead right now. 24.6 seconds remaining in the third. And we got a timeout here, or we're going to get a change. Smith is going to come in. And now Maye will inbound the ball here. And again, there you see that press.
And they're not trying to force you to turn it over. What they want to do is kill some clock so that you're getting into the half court like you see here with about 13 seconds left to get your shot, get your offense. What typically happens is you end up with a rush shot.
Here's Maye. Finds the open man, Bogue. Inside. And there's Sam Maye. Johnny on the spot to tap that one in, and boy, what a game he's had.
Sam, he does about everything except drive the bus, and he might even do that.
Well, Sam Maye and Victoria 1 quarter away from punching their ticket to the U Sport Final. Back with fourth quarter action right after this.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Okay, folks, let's show you the stats here. Stats brought to you by Wilson, makers of the official U Sports basketball. And Ottawa, they've got a quarter to try to cut into this 18-point deficit.
Yeah, you know, what the Vikes have really done, they've turned it on in this third quarter. You know, they were aggressive. They set the tone. I think for Ottawa, again, we've seen them in spurts, but we haven't seen them for consecutive stops and consecutive buckets where they've been able to string together, okay, let's get 2 or 3 stops, and then we're going to get 3 or 4, you know, baskets on the other end, 3 or 4 points, string together 3 or 4 points, 3 to 6 points. So it's right now you go into a quarter, we have 10 minutes. You got to figure it out now. There's not much to really, you know, sit back and, you know, try and figure out even for Coach Drouin. It's not, you know, what adjustment are we going to make? It's got to be, guys, whatever we're doing, everybody's got to be going in the same direction and laying it right out there.
So just a reminder, after this game, we've got this semifinal matchup. This is going to be an interesting one. You got the Calgary Dinos with Nate Petrone taking on the big-time tournament killer so far, I guess you could say, lack of a better word, the UPI Panthers, who just ran over UBC last night. So that's going to come up about maybe 11 p.m. Eastern, maybe a little later. From the corner, Chaudhry can't get it. Loose ball, Ottawa, they'll get another look. Stayich from downtown, can't drain it, and we got a man down. I think that's Sam Maye. And that's got to be a bit of a concern if you're Murphy Bernatowski. You need number 0 in your lineup. Looks like he banged his head.
It's good to see him get up.
Played at Dalhousie, part of some real good Dal teams. One of those teams that he was a part of, they went to U Sport Final. They lost to Carleton.
I think everybody's holding their breath yesterday. We had 2 of those situations yesterday. Dragon went down for Ottawa, Stayich, and then Noah Wharton for Calgary yesterday, and still haven't got an update there whether he's going to be in or out of the lineup. Rolled his ankle, didn't get to finish the game. Fortunately for you, Vic, Maye gets up here.
No, I don't have to get up. That's the game.
Ooh, okay, we like the fire, James. Turn it up.
Coach Drouin is a little ticked off about something. And that's going to be a reach-in foul there against Stayich. .936 remaining, and Ottawa, they got to figure some things out here. James with the inbounds. And they'll try it again here. Jeffrey James with 21 points on the night, 7 of 14 from the field. Arnott up top. And off to Tesfat Georges, 8 on the shot clock. Here's Arnott. Little jab step there from Robinson. He's gonna launch a 3. No, missed it. They get another offensive rebound. That's James. Double team on him. Robinson trying to spin on Newton. Robinson, oh, what a feed! Get out of town, Robinson to Smith. Sweet dish. Chaudhry kicks it up top. Gametta for Ottawa. J.M. Gametta with a reply.
I love his heart. I love his heart, I really do.
And they're gonna call Stajic on a foul as he bumped into Arnott. So right now, still 3 players for Victoria in double digits. James with 21, Bogue with 12, Schmid with 12. Schmid. Robinson, Newton trying to shut him down. Another pass inside. Schmid couldn't put it away. That was almost a carbon copy of the play they set up a couple of possessions ago.
See, the danger for Ottawa right now is that UVic is going to run the clock, right, and really trying to shorten this game. But if they're going to get open shots like that and then come up with those 50-50 balls, it's really going to hurt the Gee-Gees.
And they're going to call Robinson on a travel. So they get a stop there. They need a kill. They need a couple of kills if you're Ottawa.
You know, the fortunate thing, good thing for them is they shoot the basketball really well. Stajic here, getting to the basket, tough lay, shielding the defense with his left shoulder. Same foot, same hand, takeoff. Now, to my point before is that Ottawa shoots the basketball really well, right? They haven't shot it well in the last 2 games. We haven't seen it, but a team like this, they can get hot really quick. And if they see 2 go down, that could be 3. 3 can turn to 4. And with a game that goes up and down like this, and you shoot three balls, you can get a 12-point swing extremely fast.
So Victoria continues to lead, 74-59. We'll step away. We'll come back with more fourth quarter action on CBC Gem.
Le sport en direct sur ICTou.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ICTou.tv.
Welcome back, everybody. And J.M. Gametta, he's been the only consistent one so far in this game for Ottawa as they trail 74-59 to Victoria, and he's got 21 points on the night.
Yeah, what I could appreciate about him is not the points, right? It's the heart and the passion that he's playing with. And you can see he's a guy that just doesn't want to win, doesn't want to lose, and will do whatever it takes to win. So for me, it's you're looking at the score, you're looking at how Ottawa has played these, the last 4 quarters. It's not that. It's this guy wants to win, and he also has this infection physicality that he plays with that you can see wants to permeate throughout the team, and not everybody is jumping on the bandwagon, but I really like what he's done. And I think for him, it's also impressive and important to know that there's a lot of people watching these games. These games are streamed, right? You have people across the globe, scouts, coaches, and so forth, other teams, professional teams that are watching these games.
Well, Coach Daroon said that if he wants to play pro basketball, he's going to get some offers.
Yeah.
And he's having a great night here tonight. Unfortunately, his team down 74-59.
Good friend of mine, Patrick Ewan Jr., all the way in Australia, coaches in Australia, watching the game, sending texts throughout the game about some of the players as well. So, you know, if these guys knew what was at stake, they would play a little bit harder.
That ball in and out, and now James will bring it into the front court. And Newton, that's a foul on 11. And Newton, he's got 3 personals against him. Najak Tajori, he's got 4, and Stayich with 4. So Ottawa, they're down, and also they're in foul trouble. Here's Maya. It's good to see him back on the court. Robinson trying to get down the lane. Oh, nice feed. As Robinson again, what a table setter he's been here in this quarter.
And you know what? He came into this game and there was an asterisk beside his scout saying he's a scorer, but he's been a facilitator.
In Ottawa, they reply there. That was Chaudhry. Robinson, and they're going to call a blocking foul against Newton.
Newton, he just didn't get there in time, right? Got to use that sideline as another defender and get that right foot so that it's right on that line before the offense Robinson can attack. Just knowing that Robinson's a speed first guard.
So that's now 4 fouls against Brock Newton. Robinson trying to cross up Najak Tajori. Shot clock down to 6. Tesfet Georgis well off the mark there with that shot. Chaudhry, little up fake. And there, Chaudhry hits a triple. And now Ottawa trying to climb back into this one with 6:49 remaining. Now, if you're Murphy Bertatowski, you know, you've got a nice comfortable lead here. What are you telling your players?
I would be telling my players the lead isn't comfortable, right? Especially against a team like this. They can light it up from the three-point line. You see Chaudhry here dribbling the ISO and making a tough shot like this. If they're capable of making these type of shots, they're also capable of making open ones. So I wouldn't look at the time. I wouldn't look at the score. What I would tell my guys is to play with a sense of urgency until you hear that last buzzer, until you hear that last whistle. And then on the offensive side, the floor is really settling in, right? I don't know if you're in a position where you can continue just to work the clock unless you're getting guaranteed looks at the basket, right? Because then Ottawa's going to come back down, and they're not afraid to shoot the basketball. So they've got to continue to execute and get good looks, get open looks, but they have the personnel to do it.
And so you've got Victoria. They're hoping to be in this game, and at the moment it looks like they're going to be in the game, but we'll have to wait and see. The final 4 p.m. Eastern time, and then the women's final coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll have the women's semifinals for you tomorrow evening. So all kinds of basketball, and you know what? I think it's great that you have both the men's and the women's in the same city.
Yeah, absolutely. I think every major sport has that event, has that tournament where, you know, it has all the eyes and ears of everybody, and this has been a great job by U Sport creating that environment, creating that space.
And that's going to be Ottawa ball, and a foul against Jeffrey James. James, that's his 3rd personal. Najak Tajori will inbound the ball. Chaudhry working here on Robinson, trying to turn the corner. Tried a fancy no-look pass to Gametta, and that got deflected. And it's going to be Ottawa ball. Stayich. Newton, catch and release. No, that's a big-time air ball. Another empty possession for Ottawa. Oh, the alley and the oop, and once again, it's Robinson and Smid. That's the third time they've teamed up here in this third quarter. Chaudhry off balance with that shot, but there's Newton to put it away.
I'm not sure if that's how they drew it up, right? It wasn't as pretty as the last lob we just seen, but Newton knew what to do with it, found it, finished it. And here you get the look. Pushing it, Robinson up, air up there. Nice, give us 10 for style.
They got some synchronicity going with each other. Robinson and Smid.
Well, Smid understands when Robinson has the basketball, set screens, clear out, let him go to work, let him, get into his bag, dribble it a bit, and get to the rack. But when we're in transition and you see me on that wing, toss that ball up for me.
Here's Smid with the ball. Sam Maye went down, banged his head, I believe, off the court. Seems to be okay. Nice move by Maye. Dumps it off for Smid, and Smid is hacked. And he'll go to the line.
Smid does a good job as well. Great timing on the passes, but his ability, even in a situation like this where he's unable to finish it, doing a good job coming down with it strong so that it's not a turnover and still gets himself an opportunity at the free throw line. Right, little plays like that are considered winning plays because that could have easily been a turnover and Ottawa going out in transition, chipping away at this thing.
Smid this season shot 73% from the free throw line. And he makes both his free throws. He now has 16 points in the game. Chaudhry finds Gameta from downtown, no off the mark. Second chance opportunity. Kulamala couldn't put it away. Newton was there, couldn't haul the ball in. James, stop and go. Good defense there from Najab Chaudhry. Maye gets the ball swatted out of his hands. And looked like he had two different calls there. It wasn't an over and back, it was deflected.
But the basketball was deflected, and we can see that here in the studio, so I'm not sure how.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll carry on here. Maye with a wing and a prayer on that pass. I'm not too sure why he flung it over there. And we got an Ottawa player down. And that is Dragan Stajic. He went down hard. This Ottawa team, 20-2 on the season. They had some injuries to begin the season, so having a mark like that in the regular season in OUA play is quite phenomenal. So whatever happens here, they have had a good season. They won an OUA title, but you want to get to the big dance in the Final 8. Here's Stajic, baseline. No good. Smid couldn't get to it. Robinson does. He'll float it up here for Maye. He'll hold up, and they'll set things up in the half court. Sam Maye directing traffic. Post up here for Smid. Double team comes over. Here's Maye. He's got some space, and he drains a three. Sam Maye. No question, he's the leader of this team.
Yeah, he's the emotional leader. He has the emotional intelligence. He carries the team. And the funny thing is he hasn't hit many threes all season. And he shot 17% from the three-point line. But this shot here was probably the dagger, right? One of those shots to run back to the huddle and tell guys, we need to close it out. And guess who gets it and guess who knocks it down? But he took it with such confidence that you would think he was a 40% guy from the three-point line. Yeah. No, it was just, he's a winning guy. Makes winning plays, and this was one of those ones where, okay, I need to seal this one. I need to send a message.
If I'm not mistaken, I think maybe he's tried to take 10 threes all season long, and he might have one or two during the regular season. So
and didn't think twice. As soon as the basketball touched his hands, he knew, and he was open. You got to take it.
So Murphy Bernatowski, what a season he's had. First season as a head coach in U Sports, 20-0. Lost in the semifinals to Calgary, who you'll see in just a bit, taking on UPEI. They lost 77-68. And there you see, no surprise there, the Nike player of the game, Jeffrey James.
21 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Really opened this game up in that first half for UVic.
83-67 lead now for the Vikes. Najat Tajori can't get it. He had a couple of chances there. He's had a real rough night. Number 10 for Ottawa. It's going to be Victoria ball.
I think it's fair to say, to your point earlier, that Murphy Bernatowski, whether win, lose, or draw in this match right here, he's going to be coaching as long as he wants to coach. Really good coach for a first year. For him to come in and have the year he's had with these guys, amazing.
Robinson misses on the layup. Smid misses on the follow. It's been very rare here.
It's always harder to come in and set a tone or reshape a tone for a team and a system that's already been established.
Yeah, I asked him about that, and he said, yeah, he had trepidation about taking this job because there had been such a high standard, and you know, he hasn't been a head coach before.
Big shoes to fill. You haven't been a head coach. You have to gain the respect of the players as a coach, because everybody identifies and knows you as a player, right? So, you know, there's a lot that goes into it. And then on top of that, you know, for a lot of these coaches, you know, at this level, and, you know, the 8 teams that came into this tournament, there's a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of pressure on them as well, right? Because they're not only in charge of these, you know, the wins and losses, the games, but they're in charge of, they have the responsibility of building and maturing grown men. And from a coaching standpoint, after all these games, you come back to your phone and you have all these internet and phone coaches, but you're the one in the seat, right? And everybody could sit back and evaluate something after 2 hours, but you're doing it real time, right? So,
yeah, I mean, you take a pro team, you've got a general manager, a coach, head of player personnel. When you're coaching one of these U Sport teams, you're all of that.
Not to mention, you got to raise funds for the program.
Yeah. So you need some financial skills.
You need it all. You need it all. That's why I'm sitting over here with you. Because all what we just mentioned, that comes with gray hair, and I don't need it. I already got enough. I get into coaching, the dye won't be able to cover this up anymore.
And that's Smith again. 85-69 for Victoria. And they're 2:47 away from heading to the final on Sunday. Kulamala knocks down a triple. And a kick ball there. Sam Maye, 13 points on the evening, 6 of 6 from the field, and he's got 7 boards and 7 dimes. That's a good stat line there for the New Brunswick native. James, our Nike player of the game. Trying to feed it, gave it away. Maye, like a dog on a T-bone right there, almost stole that ball. Here's Gometa, picks up the loose ball, misses the 3. Leaks out. Maye's not done yet. He finds an open Robinson, and Robinson lays it in. And things looking very bright for this Victoria Vikes team with 2:07 remaining here in the 4th. Look at Sam Maye. Boy, he has got an engine, that guy.
He is hustling as if this is a 1-point game and they're down, right? That's what you want. Guys that hate winning more than they love winning, right? And that he exemplifies that.
Yeah, he had a big night last night. 18-6-2. 6 of 10 from the field in that victory against Bishops. And Bishops, they kind of gave this Victoria team a little bit of a scare out of the gate. But then eventually in the second quarter, they turned it on and got their way to the semifinals here. And James DeRoon, boy, tough night for him.
Tough night, and you know, when you look back after this game, you still can't lose sight of the success that you had over the season, right? They had a really good year, and I think, you know, just talking to James, he also knew that there were some holes within his team, and size being one of them, and that was something that they were willing to live with because they would go smaller, they could get some of the stuff that they wanted offensively, they could also play the way they wanted defensively. But you knew coming into this, a team that had some size and had some physicality was going to give you, you know, some difficulty. And they seen that with Concordia yesterday, right? Concordia just turned the basketball over way too much to have a chance in that game in the second half.
And you know, this Ottawa team, they play in one of the toughest divisions in U Sport, OUA East. You have Carleton, you have Queens. So they had to run the gauntlet to get here. Here's Maye, loses the handle on that ball. Not Chadori. Kulamala, no, can't sink the three. And right now, this Ottawa team, check out their field goal percentage. It hasn't been very good here in this fourth quarter. James for three. Missed that. And Ottawa shooting 36.1% from the field, and Gameta knocks down that shot. So 87-75.
It just wasn't Ottawa's day offensively, right? If you think about this, they force UVic into 21 turnovers, right? And we're only able to convert for 18 points off of those 21 turnovers. And that was just it for Ottawa. It's like the offense for them is really left them out to dry tonight. And like you mentioned, only shot 27% from the three-point line and 37% from the floor. Like, you did the job defensively. You did enough defensively, right? You held the Vikes 8-22 from the three-point line, 36%. But those 21 turnovers, if you convert half of those, it's a completely different game.
Right. So both, UVic into the bonus. No, both teams now into the bonus with 1:08 remaining here in the fourth quarter. So, a little substitution there for Victoria. And now they're going to have to await and see who they're going to face in the final, whether it be Calgary or UPEI. And that matchup coming up in just a bit here on CBC Gem. Get a chance to see Nate Patron, who was the Player of the Year in Can West, the Player of the Year in U Sport. And guy is instant offense. And I believe that Coach Glenn is going to have Sam Chisholm try to defend him, and Sam Chisholm is going to have his hands full in that game if that's the matchup that we expect to see. So some substitutions here with 1:08 remaining. Little disappointment for James DeRoon, but they did win an OUA title. Got to the national championship tournament. And now under a minute remaining here in this game. 89-75 lead for Victoria. Robinson's had a great game. Robinson, little scoop off the glass. Brought down, and Ottawa will try to make something happen on these last couple of possessions. But a tough night for the starters for the Gee-Gees. So right now, Murphy Bernatowski is going to take Robinson out of the game. Here's Gallagher. Pereira, number 12. He didn't see any minutes in this contest. Sergio Pereira. And Ottawa, I mean, most of the season they've run eight players, and that takes a toll on any team when you don't have a deep bench.
Takes a toll. I think what even hurts more is the fact that they haven't lost a game since November, right? Sometimes it's good to taste defeat so that guys remember that feeling and don't want to feel it again. And, you know, they came into this Final 8 on a high, on a big high. And I think, you know, that being said, for Victoria, it's important, yes, you're on your way to the finals, but not getting too high in this moment, right? And not losing sight of, you know, the agenda and what's at stake, what's in front of you, right? Because this is a great opportunity for these guys, you know, obviously a talented group, but the job's not done. And I remember you mentioned, you know, what I thought of Murphy's comments at halftime, and I thought it was really good. It was short, it was sweet. He didn't have much to say. He was poised, and you could see by his disposition, he was a man on a mission, right? And for a young coach like himself, I think that says a lot, speaks volumes, and hopefully his guys, you know, adapt that same attitude going into the next couple of days. Right now, the important thing is there's no more practices, right? It's going, it's watching film. You know, everybody posted up in the hotel like a stop sign and just relax, ice down, and a lot of film, focusing on, you know, yourselves, knowing your personnel, knowing the scouting report, and really honing in and watching, you know, these teams. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses playing to them?
Okay, these are the stats brought to you by Wilson, the supplier of the U Sports basketball. And there you see the numbers. And the Vikes, they shot a good game here tonight.
Shot a good game. And again, I keep harping on it. You're looking at the assist numbers, 23 assists to Ottawa's 8. And again, it just boils down to the quality of the shots that they were getting. And they were getting the basketball to the right people at the right time.
So 89-75. Let's show you some highlights from this contest as the Vikes are moving on to the final. And Robinson, what a game he had. He had such great chemistry tonight with a number of different teammates, and they get the win. And they will head to the final, which will be played on Sunday afternoon. Just a reminder, coming up, we will have the second game of the evening, as it'll be the UPEI Panthers. They'll take on Nate Petrone and the Calgary Dinos. And should be a little after 11 p.m. that we'll get that game. And UPEI, they upset UBC the other night. Calgary, they had a time of it too. They won their quarterfinal matchup. They won the Can West championship game. So that will be the next game. It'll be coming up a little after 11 p.m. Eastern time. So the final score, it is UB Vikes. They win this game. They beat Ottawa by a count of 89-75. Stick with us on CBC Gem. We'll have the second semifinal as UPEI takes on the Calgary Dinos.